Today we have with us Congressman Holt, who represents the 12th District of New Jersey, and we're going to have a short conversation with him. So let me begin by asking you this question. As a member of the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, what do you think about the current state of the US-India relationship? And what more would you like to see happen in this relationship from a strategic point of view?
Well, from a strategic point of view and an intelligence point of view, an economic point of view, a cultural point of view, relations with India and the United States are good and getting better. I think this is going to be one of the great relationships of the 21st century. We have many tens of billions, probably 60 or 70 billion dollars in trade. Indian investment in the United States is growing, 50% a year or more. Our exchanges in security and anti-terrorist matters continues to grow. Our governmental relations are strong. Personally between the Prime Minister and the United States, but really between the parliaments, the Lok Sabha and the Congress. So it really is a very good relationship.
Okay, thank you, sir. We move on. You serve on the Committee on Education and Labor, and your district houses both Princeton and Rutgers University. What are your views of the current state of education in the United States? Do you believe there can be more collaboration between the United States and India?
Well, I'm honored to represent the 700,000 people across 44 towns in 5 counties in central New Jersey. It's a well-educated district. It's a district that has a number of entrepreneurs, a lot of research-based business and industry in pharmaceuticals and telecommunications and transportation and a number of other areas. It's a cosmopolitan area, many Indian Americans, and those Indian Americans tend to be, like most of the citizens in my district, well educated. We value education in the 12th Congressional District. So many of the Indian Americans are in professional work, whether it's research in life sciences or the physical sciences, or in education, in finance, and we understand in central New Jersey that the answer to almost every question is education. We understand that's where the most important investment is made. If you're talking about productivity growth and economic activity, it comes from 2 things. It comes from new ideas and a smart, well-trained workforce. New ideas come from research and from immigration. So the exchanges of people to and from India and other parts of the world to central New Jersey is important to our economy. Certainly the education, the maintaining of a smart, well-trained workforce is essential. I joined the Education Committee when I came to Congress, and over the now 12 years that I've been in Congress, that has been my focus. For economic reasons, for cultural reasons, for reasons of the quality of life of the people in the district.
As a follow-up, in this new emerging market, the bright and best students across the world have a lot of options these days. What do you think the US can do to show and prove that it is still a land of opportunity for these immigrant students?
Well, we know that the US is still a land of opportunity because many people seek to come here. There are far more applicants for jobs to the United States than from the United States. There are still more people who want to come here to study than go elsewhere to study. But we have to recognize that it is no longer, the United States is no longer an exclusive destination. There are plenty of other excellent universities around the world besides Princeton and Rutgers. And So, and in our elementary and secondary education, we have to understand that there are many other people in the world whose schools are performing as well or better than ours. So we clearly need to invest in education. We need to pay more attention to it, and not just for reasons of international competition, but for the quality of life of people here. Nevertheless, I hasten to add that central New Jersey is an attractive place. There are many, many thousands of Indians who have moved to central New Jersey because it's a good place to live. There is a vibrant Indian American diaspora community, and a number of businesses that interact with India, and universities that interact with India in sharing of students, in cooperative research projects, and so forth.
As a member of the Committee on Natural Resources, do you feel renewable energy is a part of the US-India strategic dialogue? If not, should it be? And what do you feel is the best way to make this dialogue work?
Well, yes, it is. I mean, I've made many trips to India. I am a longtime friend of Dr. Pachauri, who's the Nobel Prize winning, the representative head of the IPCC. I visited the various institutes, the IITs, the Tata, and other institutes in India, and I'm really impressed more and more each time I go with the degree of sophistication in the Indian alternative energy and environmental science world. There's, of course, much we have to learn, and as I say, Dr. Pachauri is an emblem, a symbol of that. How much the world has to learn from Indian leadership. Certainly, whether you're talking about wind turbines or energy-saving industrial processes, there are things for us to learn and things for us to teach. There are things for us to buy and there are things for us to sell. That's one of the reasons that I think this partnership with India is going to be one of the great partnerships of the 21st century. India is the 12th or 13th largest economy in the world. I think there's every reason to believe that it's going to be the largest or second largest or fourth largest or something before long. Part of that will be because of the growth in new technologies, in alternative energy and environment and so forth.
Okay. And could you please provide us with a statement for members of USINPAC? It can be as general or as specific as you prefer.
Well, through my whole life, I've had an affinity and affection for things Indian. The culture, the education, the experiences of the diverse country that is India. We should never forget that these are the two largest democracies in the world, and that we have a lot to share. I personally have a lot to share. Our daughter-in-law is Indian, from Andhra. She was raised and educated in India. Her family still lives there. So I have personal ties, but I also have important cultural and political ties. They're through my work as a member of Congress. There have been many avenues of sharing with public officials in India, business people, educators, and the general population. And the Indian American community in my district is, well, perhaps the strongest ethnic, political, cultural community in in the region. They're active in a lot of ways, and I really value my relationship with them. So I appreciate USINPAC, what you do, and see that as another avenue of strengthening the ties between the United States and India.
Sir, thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
My pleasure.